Previously on Prison Break, Lance, who was an addict, pulled up on his friend Sarah Tancredi, probably after receiving a bunch of angry texts from her, talking about how toxic her boyfriend Michael is.
First, he said he loved me, and then his crazy friend showed up, and they started playing hide and seek instead of finishing our date, and then he asked me to move in with him after just one date. I just needed here to talk.
So Lance, being the good friend that he is, flew all the way down to where Sarah was just to check in on her. And the timing couldn't have been better because she was about to go back to her toxic boyfriend Michael. So we start out with Sarah being tied up by Lance.
Hi, Lance.
And some might say that's overdoing it, but anybody who's ever seen a friend caught up in a toxic relationship knows that sometimes force is the only thing that will get through to them. But in a shocking turn of events, he reveals he's not an addict and his name is not Lance.
As you can see, hi, my name is not Lance and I'm not an addict.
This has to be one of the most shocking reveals in TV show history. This is up there with Toby revealing he's Obito, or Anakin being Darth Vader, because Lance, being the scariest man in Prison Break, Paul Kellerman, completely came out of left field. Okay, all jokes aside, Sarah being kidnapped by Paul Kellerman is very bad. We all know the evil things he can do for the company, but at this point in the show, I would say he is at his peak in terms of his villainous potential, and that's because he's been kept away from his sweet, sweet Caroline. Now, we don't know yet in the show why he's obsessed with Caroline, but I'm pretty sure you can assume why. So I say all that to say Sarah is fucked because he will go to any means to get the information he needs out of her. And that includes drowning her in a bathtub. And drowning her in a bathtub while electrocuting her. Yeah, Kellerman's gotta go. But I'm not gonna lie, I expected a little bit more versatility from a guy like Paul Kellerman. Not only was he a company agent, but he served in the Gulf War. But you're out here being out-tortured by Beavis and Butthead. But after a while,
Are you that stupid?
Kellerman gets a call from Kim, who tells him it's taking too long, so just kill her. And Kellerman reluctantly does, by leaving her to drown in the tub.
Because now you are going to die! You're going to die!
I know my options. I can not tell you and die, or I can tell you and still die.
No, come on, smarten up, please.
Go to hell.
And she would have died if Sarah wasn't a Navy SEAL, because while she's drowning, she's able to open the drain to the tub and avoid death. Then she hides behind the door, waits for Kellerman to walk in, and burns him in the chest with the hot ironer. Then she jumps out the window
Who the fuck is that?
onto a car and escapes. Now, I may or may not have said in the last video that this wouldn't happen to Kellerman. And all I gotta say is, don't hire a boy to do a man's job. Kellerman is not letting this happen. Well, it happened. Sarah had this man screaming like it was an episode of Tom and Jerry. So I think it's time we start having some uncomfortable conversations about Sarah Tancredi, because she might have teabag level survivability. We still have to see more, but that's two company agents that she's outsmarted. Now, while all this is happening, her ex, Michael, is not handling the break in the relationship well. He's out here stealing and pushing old people out of frustration. No, seriously, him losing Sarah finally made him stop and reflect on all the bad things that came as a result of him breaking down his brother. So he goes to confession to try and cleanse himself. I'm gonna be honest with you, Father. Of course, that's what confessions are for. Yeah. So what did you want to get off your chest? Well, first off, I might have caused my girlfriend to relapse on morphine. Oh, well, I mean, is she alive? Yeah. Maybe, actually, I don't know. All right. And also, I broke this guy named Teabag out of jail. Teabag? Yeah, awful guy. Yeah, awful. Rapist, PDF file, any crime you can think of, he did it. Who are you? Also, I pushed the old man today. Why? He was trying to stop me from stealing. Get out of my booth, man. And after his confession, his faith immediately gets tested, because after his deal goes wrong with the bandits, he gets held at gunpoint until Sucre shows up and shoots them. So now he's left with the choice of letting them free or leaving them to die, and he chooses the first option, which actually ends up benefiting him, because Coyote then revealed the real location to him: Religious Mike 1, Toxic Mike 0. But Michael's faith is about to be tested on a whole new level, because he meets his father, who abandoned him as a child. For one of the rare times in the show, we get some baby Mike lore.
Oh my God, my Shayla, my Shayla.
And after some family bonding,
About the company. Apparently you're some kind of analyst. That's the job you chose over your family. I thought I was doing the right thing. I thought I was protecting you. From what, Dad? From who? After, as soon as I realized how corrupt it all was, how they were buying the government. You could have come back at any time. No, I couldn't.
but they eventually convince Michael, son, we have proof to exonerate Lincoln. Michael, your ex has the proof. Well, I mean, shit. I mean, if it helps my brother. Oh, Poppy, come on. And just as they're done repairing old family trauma, Michael's Mahone senses go off.
What?
Yeah, wrap it up. It was a working theory of mine at first, but at this point we just can't deny it. My goat might actually be a Spider-Man variant. Now hear me out, because I know this sounds crazy as hell. Now obviously, he's smart. Broke out of max security prison, structural engineer, has avoided capture as a wanted man in the biggest manhunt in US history. The list goes on.
Get off that nigga dick, bro. What is you doing?
Then, as shown in this scene, his spidey senses. He could feel Mahone's dangerous presence before any of the other guys. But most importantly, he has the physical feats to back it too. Now I mentioned this in my first Prison Break video, but it actually makes no sense how he did this. The maintenance man is right in front of him, and he avoids being seen by climbing up and hanging from the ceiling. Peep the pose, he's just mocking us at this point. But if Michael's Spider-Man, Mahone has to be Green Goblin, because he gets into a shootout that leaves Aldo with a bullet wound.
You're great. Get us to a hospital. Out here? Where the hell am I gonna find a hospital, please?
Yeah. My presumed to be deadbeat dad came back to my life and revealed he actually was the complete opposite of that and left as a means to protect me. Then 2 minutes later, he's shot by my #1 op and he dies in my arms.
I'll see you soon, Michael. Oh, and Michael. It just may be sooner than you think.
Yeah, I'd be upset too. But Mahone's villainous intentions make more sense when you realize he just got off the phone with his ex-wife, mad about how she went on a date with his #1 op.
Hi, how are you?
Hey baby.
Who the fuck is this?
Damn girl, you got my number saved?
No, I don't got your number saved. Who is this? Alright, I'm hanging up.
It's Alex, your ex-husband.
Oh. Well, what did you want?
Now, I'm not mad, but I just want to know, did you let that thug into my house?
Wait. Your house?
Yes, my house that I paid for, Pamela.
Oh, you're talking about the house that was put under my name after the divorce?
Stupid bitch. You know that's my house that I paid for with the body I buried in the backyard.
What body? What body are you talking about, Alex?
I gotta go by. Now, if you thought Aldo's death would break Michael and Lincoln, you would be wrong, because all it did was give them a new sense of purpose, and instead of getting on that plane, they decided to stay and find Sarah. But speaking of family dynamics, I forgot to mention the insane feat Zeno pulled off to get his family back. First, he goes back to Chicago, reunites with his former gang so they can plan to get his family back. Only problem is, the FBI already knows about his plan, and they're ready to catch him. So one of his crew members picks his wife up from the meetup spot, and they narrowly escape pursuit from the FBI due to one of his crew members causing a roadblock. This dude just really caused a roadblock, got out of his truck, and is holding them there, using Consuela tactics. And the cherry on top, he doesn't get arrested. Wow. I tried to find his name on the Prison Break fandom page, but they just referred to him as the obese crew member. That shit ain't right. He deserves his respect. But where it gets crazy is when Zeno darts into his daughter's class, grabs her, and runs out with her. I don't know why, but this was always such a funny visual to me. A grown-ass man just ran into a children's classroom and kidnapped a kid while being chased by the FBI. This is peak Prison Break, and for the time being, he is reunited with his family.
Baby? Yeah. What do we do now?
But I'd much rather be confused and with my family than separated and being hawked down by a psycho. This man has been following them for an entire day at this point, from sun up to sundown, just questioning anyone that knows their whereabouts.
And I want it in writing. Oh, yeah. I'm so tired of playing games. I'll start typing. No external pacemaker. Hey, this is a good one. No morphine drip. What are you doing? FBI, out.
Gunning down their father to now tailing them into the night, fueled off of straight benzos and a vow to keep his family safe. I gotta show my respects. But he probably wouldn't have caught them if Michael didn't make Lincoln turn the car around and drive to the cell tower so he could call Sarah. And just as the call goes through, Mahone channels the spirit of Ray Lewis and rams his car right into theirs. I don't know how he did this. He must have been hiding in the dark like a state trooper, but this shit was insane. A few episodes earlier, Mahone tested Michael's gangster and realized he's not about that life. But this was Lincoln driving the car, so he was probably like, Lincoln might be a little too stupid to move out the way.
Hey, step off, or you're going to shoot. Hey.
I'm gonna hit him with a sneak attack. And even with the threat of imminent death, the only thing Michael cares about is his toxic relationship, and he attempts to talk to Sarah on the phone. Yeah, my goat might have freed himself from the shackles of prison, but he is clearly locked down by love. But now Mahone has them at gunpoint, with Sarah listening from Michael's phone, and he explains to them this isn't personal.
You won me, you got me. Let my brother go.
I don't want either of you.
I just want my life back.
William Fitchner must have heard all the Prison Break bad acting takes and said, "Who can act? Not me," and dropped this on our head top.
I just want my life back.
This nigga is crazy.
But sadly enough for him, he was not getting his life back because the Border Patrol shows up and they take Lincoln and Michael into custody. So now for the first time since season 1, Michael and Lincoln are about to be taken back to Fox River, and they even got the new warden doing post-arrest interviews. We are here live from Fox River Penitentiary with what's your name, sir? Ed Bavelka. Right. So, Eddie. Ed is fine, please. So, Ed, how did it feel to have the great Michael Schofield back into your prison? Did you just call him the great? Well, Eddie, he did break out 7 other inmates from max security prison. Okay, I see where this is going. I don't know how the old warden handled these things here, but we don't refer to convicted criminals as great. I'm just going off the stats. Stats? Yes, sir. Michael Schofield is the highest rated inmate since the Fox River database was created. Database. Yes, as you can see here, sir. Mr. Schofield is touted as 96 overall, whereas you are just a measly 66.
Hope was at least a 75.
Okay, 60. Who does these ratings? That would be me, sir. And on that note, we wrap up our exclusive Fox River coverage. Hold on a minute. I give Ed about 5 days before Michael and Lincoln break out. I am not a 66 overall. Back to you, Jeb. So now Lincoln and Michael are both taken to a holding facility, but they must have forgot how my goat gets down. Even upon entering the holding facility, he's scoping the area out, looking for possible escape opportunities. Then you got Lincoln, just straight NPC'd out, eyes looking down, thinking Michael gonna figure something out. And Michael better figure something out, because not only are they being escorted to Fox River, Paul Kellerman is going to intercept them and snipe their heads off, which would be great for Mahone, aside from the fact that he has to kill Kellerman immediately after. But would you rather have that on your conscience, or killing a wrongly convicted inmate and his bank robbing brother?
The vault. Open it.
We can't. The branch manager's not here.
Yeah, give me the company agent with like 5 on-screen murders to this point. But for this plan to work, Kellerman has to make some calls to have a traffic jam. Then one of the guards purposely leaves his keys in the car so they can escape. So of course, Lincoln's like, fuck yeah. Guard just so happened to leave the keys to our cuffs behind. And there's this super suspicious getaway door that's propped open a few meters away. But they just say YOLO and take the bait, which I respect. Everything they've done so far has been calculated and thought out. Why not just say YOLO at this point?
You ready?
No. You?
No. Let's go.
And it ends up working. But instead of going directly to the surface, they go off course. So Kellerman comes down and him and Mahone both hold him at gunpoint. And I hate to do this, but quick side note, this scene takes place in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And if you watch my last video about Lalo, you know that this city has a crazy history.
Werner? Werner? Mr. Ziegler?
Michael, is that you?
Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul both take place in this city. Now we got Kellerman about to smoke Michael and Lincoln just so Mahone can double cross him. Yeah, there's something off about this city. This episode aired November 27, 2006. Then roughly 1 year later, Breaking Bad comes out and that whole show basically takes place in Albuquerque. Then Better Call Saul drops, which also takes place in Albuquerque. And don't give me that,
Bro, those are shows about drugs. Of course they're gonna choose cities that are near the border.
no. I lived in Yuma, Arizona as a kid, and that's as close as you can get to the border. And I don't see any drug shows being made about that city. There's a much bigger conspiracy here, and that is that this must be a part of some come visit Albuquerque, New Mexico ad. And it might not work on most people, but that shit worked on me. I want to see what's going on in this town. But like I said earlier, don't hire a boy to do a man's job. If they wanted this done right, the company should have hired the baddest man in Albuquerque, Hank Schrader, because Kellerman ends up triple crossing Mahone and shooting him. We are 35 episodes in. This is probably the most shocking moment of the entire show. The man who devoted his entire life to the company not only just turned his back on them, but is aiding the very people they were after. Mind you, he's throwing everything he ever worked for away because he couldn't talk to his crush.
You want to take the bitch down? You just found your inside man, but it's got to be right now.
He ain't gonna be in Rush Hour 3.
And after this episode, the show takes a 7-week hiatus. I would have been fuming if I was watching this live. But to be fair, 22 episodes in a season, Prison Break fans were eating good. Invincible fans get 4 episodes before they get hit by a 3-month break.